For me personally, yeah, I think that, sort of ACEs, trauma-informed environments, restorative practice, to me, that all seems to come hand in hand. As a support worker, restorative practices, I think, is by far the best tool that I've ever come across, to be honest. It places the emphasis on the relationship building, and I think for me, on a professional and a personal level, that is like one of the things that, one of the values that I hold really, really close to me is sort of building and maintaining those relationships. And I think once you have a relationship with somebody, there's lots of things that you can discuss and bring up and talk about, and as long as you're open and direct and they know from the start that that is your intention, is, to help them, to do things with them and not to do things for them, I think that in itself is a massive tool, to be able to, there's quite a lot of difficult conversations that we have to have as support workers, and I think by far that's the best tool that I've sort of used.
That I was going through a divorce, I was like just split up. He'd left me and cheated on me. He's trying to fight for custody to stay in the country with my son, and she put me in the right directions for everything I needed to put into place.
Syra, when she first arrived at Nightingale, she was really anxious, tearful. She was visibly shaking when I was talking to her. She was just distraught. She was in an absolute crisis. And it took a few sort of sessions to kind of start to build that relationship with her, enough for her to then be able to feel comfortable.
Really, I haven't experienced support like this before. I've had a support worker when I moved properties, and she just kind of helped me, but not like how it's been here.
To start off with, I thought, brilliant, I'm going to be fully restorative with this person. I'm going to go in, she's going to do everything for herself after a few weeks. But that's not the case, and I think I've come to realise that myself. It's not a quick fix, it's something, it's almost like a lifestyle choice. It's a change, it's something that they have to be on board with as well.
Then they push me towards doing stuff myself, which I find, which is really good, because when I move into my own place, they won't be there to support me, so I'm going to need to do a lot of things on my own. When I had my support worker outside of here, I tried to put a lot on her to save myself doing it, which is not a good thing really. You need to sort yourself out as well as having help.
Support work has always meant to me, almost like you're the rescuer. These people need your help, so you've gone in, you're waving a magic wand and everything's been sorted out. The reality is that isn't helping them, and in the long term that's not allowing them to learn the skills that they need to survive out in the outside world.
Well, she came upstairs and we both had an argument on the stairs, and then I was only here, like it wasn't that long, and I was thinking, oh my god, I hate this place at that time. And then I went and said to someone on the desk, and they asked us if we both wanted to come and meet and talk about it. And I said, yeah, I was a bit nervous, like as you do with anything you don't really know about. And then when we came in, and we both spoke to each other, it was fine.
Coming from the environment I've come from, work-wise, I was in the prison service, so we were very much geared to punitive sort of measures, and that definitely made me realise that that is not the way that people need to be supported. By just allowing them sometimes just to get whatever they need to get off their chest, so that may be, weeks and weeks and weeks of sort of crying and, why has this happened to me? And, and then once I think, they go through different stages, so that they might be angry, then they're, sort of questioning what, have they done the right thing by leaving the relationship? And I think it's not my job to put words into their mouths and to tell them how they should feel. And it's just sort of like stepping back and allowing them to get off their chest what they need to get off their chest. At that point then you can start sort of looking at what interventions you can sort of put in place.
They came and they said, oh, do you want to talk to the girl? She can say what she feels, you can say what you feel. I said, okay, yeah.
Over the course of the last, sort of few months, she does appear to have found sort of her voice and the ability to not always articulate what she's feeling or what she's thinking, but she definitely has the ability now to say that there's something that she wants to talk about, and perhaps that's, and I think that's probably the key thing in restorative practices, to allow people to explore their thoughts and their feelings.
Yeah, I probably like wouldn't just go down and run up to someone and be arguing with them, innit? I just maybe talk about it.
A clear example of the sort of high challenge, high support in terms of restorative practice. I mean, when she first came to Nightingale, yeah, she was, very angry, she was very upset, she was very emotional. or outwardly emotional. I think I wouldn't say I've done a great deal. I think a lot of it's down to her sort of recognising that she has got the skills to deal with her emotions.
Like I was quite snappy at him when I first came here, which it wasn't his fault, like what I was going through, but now that's the last thing on my mind, not the first thing on my mind. Oh, I'm split up and I'm single. I'm just thinking about I need to educate myself for my son to have a good role model in his life. So yeah.
Come on leaps and bounds. She is a lot more confident. She's confident not only with like interacting with me and other people within the hostel, so residents, other staff members, professionals, so other agencies, health visitors, Parents Plus. She's also a lot more confident in managing her son's behaviour as well.
So I've got a good relationship with Becky, and my son loves her. I was a mess when I come in here. I was shaking. I was all over the place crying, but now I don't want to leave here.